For a limited time, you can get 6 months of unlimited local news access for only $2 at duluthnewstribune.news/deal. We're honoring World Press Freedom Day, and along with this deal, we're giving you free access to our news website for 24 hours on May 3rd, so you can experience the critical role local news plays in keeping you informed. If you'd like to stay connected to your community with unlimited access every day, subscribe now to get 6 months of local news for only $2. Visit duluthnewstribune.news/deal now before this deal ends on May 5th. That's duluthnewstribune.news/deal. Hello Northlanders, it's Monday, May 1st. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union's services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. Lake Superior Medical Equipment is ready to reopen following the fire that claimed its previous location last fall. The locally owned and operated home healthcare equipment company was founded in 2002. Its president, Tom Jameson of Duluth, purchased the company with locations in Duluth and Cloquet in March 2015. The Duluth site operated out of the store and warehouse located at 522 East 4th Street until September 14th, when a fire destroyed the building, owned by Dick Slotness. The business was closed at the time of the fire and no employees were present. Paul Brown alerted fellow residents on the top floor of the building about the fire, allowing them to evacuate safely as firefighters and other first responders arrived at the scene. Although no one was injured, Jameson said the business lost inventory exceeding $400,000, in addition to a delivery van. The business recently signed a long-term lease with UDAC, a nonprofit serving individuals with disabilities. The new West Duluth space in the Bullion Center at 4730 Mike Calaleo Drive is roughly 6,000 square feet, similar in size to the previous Lake Superior Medical Equipment site in Duluth. There will be improved parking and a newer show floor for medical equipment and supplies. Authorities identified the driver of a sport utility vehicle who was pronounced dead after a collision with the rear of a semi-truck in Superior on Saturday. John Joseph Myers, 78 of Superior, died in the crash, according to a news release from the Wisconsin State Patrol. At 1:35 p.m., Myers, driving a 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander East on US Highway 2, near the intersection with 41st Avenue East, struck the back of a semi-truck, left the roadway, shearing off a light pole, and came to a rest in the front yard of a residence. Myers was not wearing a seatbelt and sustained injuries that proved to be fatal, despite life-saving efforts attempted on the scene. The semi-truck driver, Joseph Hunter Matechuk, 21 from Manitoba, Canada, was not injured, the news release said. The crash is under investigation by the Wisconsin State Patrol and Superior Police Department. Dan Williamson now joins us with a special guest.
Thanks, Wyatt. I'm sitting here with one of our colleagues, Duluth News Tribune arts and entertainment reporter Jay Gabler. And Jay, you're working on a story that we'll be able to read in Wednesday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune, as well as online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. And you were telling me this is about new businesses in the Duluth area supporting film production.
That's right. We've heard a lot about the film production boom in the region, with incentives now in place for filmmakers at the city, county, and state level. But this week, I look at some of the businesses that are supporting that industry, including 2 new businesses based in Duluth, one of which is a prop house where you can rent props to fix out your movie set or even your stage set if you're putting together a theatrical production, and also a new talent management agency here in Duluth.
Very interesting. What was your biggest takeaway from this, Jay?
You know, I like to quote from Ryan Kern, which is a name you might have heard if you've been following Duluth events and reading the Duluth News Tribune. Ryan and his wife, Lindsay Kern, run Kern and Company, which is the organization behind Duluth events, including the Duluth Air Show and the October Festival. They're now branching out into artist talent management to support the film and TV production industry here in the area. And Ryan mentioned in an email to me that developing an industry is like flexing a muscle. You have to be intentional about it. You have to give it protracted attention, and you have to come back and support it again and again and again. So it's not just about having one movie come and film here or having 2 or 3 movies. It's about building a whole industry so that when filmmakers are thinking, can I make my project happen in Duluth? You're asking questions like, Can I rent a prop? Can I get my set tricked out in Duluth? Or do I need to bring all of that with me? Can I find actors in the Northland to fill in roles in my film? Or do I need to bring my actors from out of town? And the more that filmmakers can say yes to those questions, the more they know that they can get what they need right here in town, the easier it is for those projects to make sense financially, and the better for us here in town, because it means that we see local talent up on the screen and see some local paraphernalia up on the screen as well.
Absolutely. Is there something in particular you hope our audience takes away from your story?
Well, a fun fact is that one of the businesses I profiled, the You Betcha Prop House, is accepting donations. It's run by a woman named Lucretia Stillwater, fascinating person with a deep history in the film and theater industries here in Duluth. And she wants to let our readers know that if they have stuff that they are looking to get rid of, whether by just throwing it away or perhaps selling it to a thrift shop or Goodwill or whatever, she is accepting donations of anything that you have that you think might someday be needed for a movie set, whether it's an antique or something that you might not think is an antique, but even from decades as recently as the 80s and 90s, some of that stuff is not that easy to find anymore. And so filmmakers want to make movies that involve, say, cassette tapes, or even, 8 tracks. They're going to need some tapes and tape players to fill out those scenes. So if you're throwing anything away or taking it to a thrift shop, think about whether it's something that you might be able to donate to support film production here in the Northland.
Looking forward to this article. Jay, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Dan. Have a great week.
And again, you can catch Jay's article in Wednesday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune. You can also find it online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Wyatt, back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought from the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Happy Monday, Duluth. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies today, and it will be another windy one with a high temperature barely getting up to 50 degrees. Northerly winds about 20 to 30 miles an hour with some higher wind gusts expected. Overnight tonight, winds diminishing a little bit with partly cloudy skies and temperatures starting off in the mid-30s for your Tuesday. Then mostly sunny, slightly lighter winds with high temperatures in the mid-50s. Still mid-50s on Wednesday with a few more clouds, and a weak cold front could touch off a light rain shower Wednesday night and into Thursday. That'll bring temperatures back down to the upper 40s for Thursday and Friday. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jesse Ritka.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. In the latest episode, Jay Gabler takes us inside a Lake Superior beachside cottage bookstore that's more than just a pretty space. You can find that episode and others at duluthnewstribune.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Brielle Bredston, Brandon Veal, Barrett Chase, and Jay Gabler. Thank you for listening to the Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.